It's the responsibility of the people that show up at those rallies to not be stupid, to not be so stupid that they should be kept away from blenders.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Liberal Expression. This week, the leftist media was ready to talk Turkey. But of course, they had to do it by spurting a lot of baloney. On Sunday and Monday, ABC News got caught lying about having a video allegedly showing Turkish troops slaughtering Kurdish civilians in northern Syria,
effectively abandoning America's allies in the fight against ISIS. This video right here appearing to show Turkey's military bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town.
Sure, if the Syrian border town was located at a firing range in Kentucky and took place over a year ago. But hey, the leftist anti-Trump media doesn't need any shred of truth. Once they were called out on the fake news, ABC did apologize, but not on air. ABC News regrets the error, just not enough to acknowledge it on air, especially when ABC reporter Jonathan Karl talks to the president about it.
And when you ask a question like that, it's very deceptive, John. It's almost as deceptive as you showing all of the bombings taking place in Syria, and it turned out that the bombing that you showed on television took place in Kentucky. So, and I'm not even sure that ABC apologized for that, but certainly it was a terrible thing. I'm looking at this, I'm saying, wow, that's pretty bad. And it was in Kentucky, it wasn't in Syria. So I don't know what you're going to do about that, but I think ABC owes an apology.
Karl didn't include that comment from the president in his report on ABC. I wonder why. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was an error. John, thought the footage said Turkey, not Kentucky. And anyone could have made that mistake. They're close, right? Sadly, folks, this is what happens when the leftist media is left on their own to come up with the news. The whole thing goes a lot better when the Democratic lawmakers tell them exactly what to say.
Massive cover-up.
We are watching a cover-up by the President of the United States.
They've been in the business of trying to cover up.
Implicated in a cover-up.
There's a cover-up.
The cover-up, the attempted cover-up.
To interfere with the Congress's ability to call before it relevant witnesses will be considered as evidence of obstruction.
Trump's strategy, it's pretty clear. Obstruct, deflect, confuse.
Obstructing justice, refusing to comply with the congressional inquiry.
It is obstruction of justice. It's bribery.
A lot of the committees have documented obstruction of justice.
All of this obstruction from the White House and from the president specifically.
He's using the abuse of power in every element of the presidency.
The heart of the abuse of power.
This gross abuse of power.
You could say it was an abuse of power.
There has been an abuse of power.
It certainly is an abuse of power, isn't it? But hey, that's not their fault.
There are no innocent bystanders here, and you have to fault the media for this. You cannot adopt GOP talking points. It feels like sometimes the media is more concerned with not offending Trump voters than they are with using critical thinking required for journalism.
Well, I am so glad this week MSNBC made a concerted effort not to insult Trump supporters.
It's the responsibility of the people that show up at those rallies to not be stupid. To not be so stupid that they should be kept away from blenders. All they have to do is spend 3 seconds actually watching the news.
Yeah, just watch them for 3 seconds to feel their deep-seated hatred. They couldn't even restrain their hate for the president during their coverage for Elijah Cummings, the late Maryland Democratic congressman who passed away due to health complications on Thursday this week. Now, you think they would spend some time talking about Cummings' achievements as a lawmaker, but
Cummings, who was chairman of the powerful House Oversight Committee, spent the past few years battling health issues and President Trump.
Those in the highest levels of the government must stop invoking fear, using racist language, and encouraging reprehensible behavior.
He denounced the president's immigration policy that separated parents and children at the border.
We are better than that. We are so much better.
And he fought back when the president called his Baltimore district a rodent-infested mess.
Was that about Cummings or President Trump? I'm not sure. The one thing the media is sure about, though, is that they don't like it when you press Senator Elizabeth Warren and make her explain the cost of some of her plans. Even if you're an opposing Democratic presidential candidate on CNN.
You went at it with Senator Elizabeth Warren about her Medicare for All plan, and you wanted a simple yes or no answer of will she raise taxes? And what she ended up saying time and again was Americans' household costs will come down with her plan. What does it matter to you what bucket it comes out of?
His face, wow. Why do you care how much taxpayer funds are spent? CNN does not want leading presidential Democratic candidates to have to answer that. In fact, it seems like the chiefs of the leftist media held a powwow and simply decided that they have no reservations about bashing anyone that goes after Warren. And if they do, they'll whomp them.
We got to have a plan to fight back against it. And that's what I got.
Senator Warren, you are probably the deepest of all of the Democratic candidates in terms of policy and specificity. And I see people wait online hours and hours, 4 hours in New York to talk to you about them. Do you worry that in a general election you'll end up running against someone like Donald Trump, whose slogan and strategy amounts to, you're a poo-poo head?
The poo-poo head slogan. See, this is the type of question they ask Warren.
You're a poo-poo head. No, you're a poo-poo. I mean, do you worry that the dumbing down of a general election against Donald Trump may deprive you of your greatest strength?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's probing questions like that will ensure the dumbing down of the presidential race. I'm racing out of here. I'm Aaron Shiner for MRC-TV. Like and subscribe to the videos. Check out the website, mrctv.org. We'll be taking a break, but we'll be back with more leftist media wackiness in 2 weeks.